I heard the church bell ring behind me, even though the tower had collapsed decades earlier. When I turned around, every candle inside had gone out at once, except one, standing beside someone who looked exactly like me. I traveled to the abandoned mountain village of Biertan, Romania, hoping to photograph forgotten medieval churches for a history magazine. The locals refused to guide me after sunset, but one elderly caretaker agreed to unlock the old stone church. Before leaving, he quietly said, "Whatever you hear after the final evening bell, never look toward the altar until dawn." The rule sounded ridiculous. The church was empty except for cracked pews, faded paintings, and dust thick enough to hide footprints. I stayed because a storm trapped me inside. As darkness swallowed the stained glass windows, strange whispers drifted through the sanctuary. They weren't speaking Romanian. They were saying my name. The final bell echoed once. Silence. Then slow footsteps began circling the pews, though I couldn't see anyone. A wooden cross that had been hanging behind me suddenly appeared beside the altar. Something was moving there. I remembered the rule and kept my eyes on the floor, but the whispers grew louder. "Look at me. You came all this way. If you were standing where I was, would you have followed the rule?" A cold hand brushed my shoulder. I looked up for just a second, and someone was already standing at the altar, not facing me, facing the wall. My heartbeat drowned out the rain outside. The figure never moved, yet every few seconds it seemed closer without taking a step. The air smelled like extinguished candles, even though none had been lit. I backed toward the entrance, but the church doors refused to open. Behind me, the whispers became prayers spoken backward. The figure slowly began turning its head. "Do you think you would stay or run?" I ran. Halfway down the aisle, I noticed fresh footprints appearing ahead of me instead of behind me, as if something invisible was walking toward the altar from my direction. Then I understood. The figure wasn't approaching me. It was waiting for me to take its place. The old caretaker's warning finally made sense. The rule wasn't meant to protect visitors from seeing something. It was meant to stop something from seeing them. The figure finished turning. It had my face. If curiosity had won, would you have looked one more time? I shut my eyes and recited every prayer I could remember while forcing the church doors open. The moment I stumbled into the storm, the bell rang again. At sunrise, the church was empty. No footprints, no candles, no altar figure. Only one new photograph on my camera. It showed me, standing at the altar, facing the wall. Months later, the magazine returned every photo except one. They claimed the final image had never been inside my memory card. Last week, I received an envelope with no return address. Inside was the missing photograph. This time, the figure at the altar had turned around, and it wasn't wearing my face anymore.